Hello, class. This is Marcos, and this is our week 10 to 11 briefing. And I've got some good news. If you look here over my shoulder, there are the baby board books, which have been delivered, and they look amazing. Here's a quick little video of them so you guys can see them in all their glory. They're here at my office, and I've got 3 sets, one for you, 2 for me. And we will be able to have you take back your copy on Thursday when you come here for our next class session. And also I'll ask for those of you who want to order more, we'll have an order sheet so you can email me. But let me know once you see these, or if you see them right now, you just got to have more. This is the time to order them so that we can get more before the end of class. And make sure that you have this, because I don't want to have to go back after we do an order. But they're just amazing, and I can't wait for you guys to see them and page through them, and have in your hand something that shows that you have worked all these years, all this passion, all this time, all this love and sweat and successes and failures, and here you are, all of you authors of a children's book. So I'm so proud of all of you, and these are just great books, and you're going to really enjoy our class Thursday. So we'll be meeting on Thursday for our design finalization presentation, and pretty much what that means is that the goal is for you to be, not fully done with your book, but kind of done with the design fully, so that you have another week to then make adjustments, finish details, alter things, and then have the part 5, as you can see, after next week, and then submit final files in that week. So ideally you'll have your entire book done, and you'll have all that prepared, and you'll present it when you come to the class. We're going to meet in small groups. We're going to break up the class in thirds, and we're going to have the first third take their picture and present, the second third, and then the third. I'll send an email out with the names on that. And you'll get a chance to give feedback and get feedback from not just me, from other students as well. And then have another week to finish that and present the final files. And then after week 5, we're going to present, at week 5, we're going to have our briefing for our last project. And what's important with this next round of books, with the store books, is that you do get these final files done pretty much at that end of part 5, so that we can begin to send them to the printer. They take 10 days to 2 weeks. And the key is that we have books for everybody in your store books before the end of class. So some of you might be a little bit late, and that's okay to a certain limit. There's some wiggle room there, but I need everyone to be as on time as possible with getting their work complete. So don't completely flip out if you're worried about getting everything done in a week. Shoot for that, but no, there's some wiggle room. Okay, so our next thing, we just want you to consider the feedback you got yesterday on our one-on-one meetings and implement that. And mostly the feedback is keep going, work hard, plan your time, manage your time well, be passionate, be like the one who's vigilant about getting all the details done. This is your book. And when you see these books, you're going to know, like, this is going to last. It's not something that's on a screen and goes away. These are going to be physical pieces that last. So put in the time, put in the passion, and get your illustrations and design done as well as possible. Your text should be finalized by now. It should be in the page layouts. Sure, there's a chance to change it, but you should pretty much have that work done. Work to complete your illustrations and layouts. That's the big one. Everyone's going to have sore wrists or sore hands from like mousing around or drawing or however you're doing it to get these things done, but you need to work hard. It needs to hurt, because it's going to be, the suffering will lead to joy. So go through that now, get it done, make them great, stay up late, don't go out, work all weekend, all the things you should be doing to get this to be great. And then your final book needs to include at least 10 spreads. So remember that, like, it's actually 24 pages, but there are 4 dirt pages. I'll show you that, 3 in the beginning and 1 at the end. So basically there should be 20 pages or 10 spreads. One of those spreads needs to be, the first one needs to be an intro cover spread, like not a cover, a title spread that has the name of the book, has your name, and if the original author should be there, and something that opens up the book, and then your story starts after the first spread. So 9 spreads for your story. If you're short, you can have the last one be at the end, so you can actually be 8 spreads with title spread, and then the end if you're short. So make sure you get that right count. It's gonna be 24 minimum, and it could be more. If you have more, that's great. But it can't be any less than, it has to be 24 pages, including the 4 dirt pages, so 20 of your pages. And then while you're doing this, send me your progress, ask for feedback. Some of you are good at that. Some of you are just working on your own. Utilize me. That's why you're paying all this big tuition. That's why your parents are paying for it. You can bother me and get my advice and get my direction. That's what I'm here for. So make sure you're doing that. And then don't forget to be updating your presentations. I'm looking at the Google Drive for this week. I see like a third of the people there. And a lot of people are not going to get their full points because you're not putting your presentation up on the Google Drive. And that's part of your grading. So please do that. So remember the fixed elements. They're going to be the dirt logo on the cover. This box has to be here in white with a black dirt logo exactly where it is and exactly that size. Don't touch it. It's on the template. Download the template from Canvas. Don't forget about the UPC on the back. And don't forget there's a little bit of a spine. Nothing, you can't put type there, but make sure you're putting either the color of the back or the illustration on the front on that spine. And then this is the beginning of the dirt pages. On the left here is the inside cover. So that's not page 1. Page 1 is this right side where the text begins. And that's page 1. It stays just like that. The scribble, your name's going to be down there. And then the first spread is 2 and 3. And that's another dirt spread. Don't do anything with it, but we're going to take pictures for here. And you're going to put in text about your book and and where you're from. And so if you could, the least you can do for sure is put in like where you're from. And avoid being like, unless you're in New York, or avoid saying you're from New York. Say where you're from originally or initially, or say you're from a different part of the country, but your family is from, if it's relevant to the story, for sure, put that there. And then on the very back, there's the last page next to the inside cover. So the last page is a single page, and that's a dirt page. So that's four fixed pages. And remember the bleed. I don't want you guys to have a problem. Remember that you have an illustration that goes all the way through the page. You have to account for it by having a little bit of edge there. You can see on the edge there's an 1/8 of an inch, I think it is. It's on the template, so utilize that. Make sure your picture box goes through there, and you can enlarge your image big enough to go there and not have something that crosses over and doesn't give you enough space. Also, type should not be, you should not be doing sentences that go across center unless they're gigantic words. The book is bound different than the baby board book. It kind of has a little bit of an arc when you open it up, and you can't be putting sentences in there and expect people to read that. So no sentences going through the middle of the book. There's a template on the Canvas, so download that. It's got a cover. One is a cover, and the other are the pages. So it starts here on page 1 for the inside pages. Again, these are the fixed pages. Don't touch those except for your picture there and your text. And then there's a title spread first. And then from there, you'll see on the side here, it's got to be 24 pages total. So it's 24 pages on the title, on the pages document, and the cover and the back and the inside back do not count as your 24 pages. It's just the pages document, 24 pages. Okay, so here's where the Canvas shows what's on there, so you can get your downloads from there. There's a link to the Google Drive and then there's also this image here, which I meant to put bigger, but basically this is an example of where you should be. Like this shows the title spread and then all 10 spreads of the story. That you need to have that done at some level. Maybe it's the finished level, maybe they're all close, but I want to see the whole story. The whole book should be there. So work to do that. Take the time you need. There's the link and the Google Drive to upload by next week. And then don't forget the class resources on the main part of the folder, where you can go to the Storybook archive and you can look at PDFs of past books. If you need help, if you just need some inspiration, please utilize that. Okay, so that's it. But make sure you plan for next week to be here. There are the books. Woohoo, pretty nice. Make sure you're here, and we're going to do a photo shoot. This is my office here. It's pretty tiny, but next door there's a conference room. We're going to have a photo studio, and then we're going to have people getting their pictures taken there while people are in here doing reviews with me. And if you can make sure you wear like cool clothes, but don't have like big graphics on your shirt, because it's going to be pictures of you like holding your book, and we don't want to have like Nike in the way, or some crazy political slogan or whatever. So just keep it not cool and natural, and be ready to look good. We're going to also have a white book that's 8x10 that is going to be a placeholder for your storybook. So when we take a picture with your white book, it's going to be that you bring in Photoshop and put in the cover, so it looks. We'll use our tricks to make it look like we have the books already. Okay, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys on Thursday at my office. Thanks.